everyone, it's Jessie here from Inkrella Cards, here today to give you a brief list of starter calligraphy tools. I've gotten a lot of questions on what materials are necessary or recommended in order to get started, and I figured that I'd make a video on it. The materials list is pretty short and you don't need all the tools that I'm going to go over, but it's a pretty basic list if you want to get your feet wet. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the paper. My favorite paper to use for calligraphy drills and practice is Muji dotted notebook paper. You can see that I already wrote on this one. The high quality of the paper holds up to different inks that I've tried using with it, and it also allows for the nib to travel along it smoothly. I like that it's dotted because it's perfect for drills if you're working on spacing and uniformity in your letters. The next thing that I want to discuss is the nib holders. On the left, I have a straight nib holder, and on the right, I have an oblique holder. Because I'm a lefty, I don't ever use the oblique nib holder, and if you're a lefty, you can definitely use it. I just find that it's really uncomfortable for me, so I don't. The nib holder that I actually use a lot came with my Leonard starter nib kit, and I just like that narrow, long feeling of it. Since calligraphy is all about the nib, I'll talk about that a little bit. Here I have a Zebra G nib, and this is actually the nib that I would recommend for beginners and those just getting into calligraphy. It's a stiff nib, so it doesn't have too much give, and it's really good for learning how to write. Flexible nibs are a little harder to control, so it may be overwhelming to use at first. I found that for me, using a stiff nib like the Zebra G really helped me learn about applying pressure and control before transitioning to more flexible nibs. To attach the nib onto the holder, just stick it in at the top and press in until it's secure, but not so much that it's jammed in all the way. Next, I'm going to review my two favorite inks. I have walnut ink and Higgins Eternal Black ink. So I like using walnut ink for drills and for digitizing calligraphy because the thin consistency of the ink works really well with all of my nibs in creating these smooth lines, and it's also really pigmented for how thin it is. I love using Higgins Eternal Black ink for digitizing works and also for my hand-drawn calligraphy projects that require black ink. The last thing that I'm going to go over before showing you some basic drills is the felt tip brush pen. Here I have a Z Refine Point brush pen, which is pretty stiff. Again, I learned how to use a brush pen using a more stiff brush pen first before moving on to more flexible brush pens. So lastly, I wanted to show you how I warm up with a pointed pen. And I do that with basic calligraphy drills that involve applying pressure and practicing light upstrokes and heavy downstrokes. And I'm going to show you how I do that in real time. hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned something. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment below of what you'd like to see next. To check out more of my work, you can follow me on Instagram at InkerellaCards and check out my website at www.inkerella.com. Thanks for watching!